5. No. I'm sorry. If Miami beats this thing, number 3 all day. You need to put them number 3. I don't care. Next week, they better be number 3 beneath both Bama and Georgia if they both win. So the way I sum it up is this will be such a good game. Such a good game. This might even be as good as that Georgia Tech-Miami game was a couple weeks ago. And that was a great game. I thought it wouldn't be, but it was a good game. So to sum it all up, man, Notre Dame will pull this sucker off, but it will be a late game. I mean, it'll be a late score. It'll be something we can have this will be such a nail-biter. I'll be on the field during this game. My game starts an hour before this one, but my game will be over before this one. So on our way back home, I'll be watching like the final quarter of this game. Ben, I'm going to tweet you, man, because this is going to be a great game. So enough of me over here jawing. Ben, this is it, man. This is going to be such a great game. Miami pulls. Notre Dame pulls. See, that was a Trojan in me. Yeah. So Notre Dame pulls this game off. Final score, 28-21 on a last-minute drive or in the last couple of minutes. I think they can get it done. Miami, I'd love to see y'all win it. But Notre Dame just hasn't shown me that little strand of weakness that Miami has. And, well, Notre Dame has played some nasty teams this year, and I could say that they deserve that number 3 spot. My bad, Miami. You can still get in the playoff, but it's going to be a little tough. All right, Ben, yeah. I went ahead and just unloaded. My bad.
Here we go. He said Notre Dame. Okay, I'm going to say this. ESPN has, again, failed us with this matchup predictor, which maybe this is by votes from people that go on the website or something. But they got Miami 31%, Notre Dame 61%. To me, it's a lot closer than that. I'm almost going to give a slight advantage to Miami when you're on a run like this. This is a rivalry game. This is in Miami. There's a lot of other things than just, I think, football in this. And I'm going with Miami. Now, it's going to be tough. You got Josh Adams for Notre Dame, who is a top 10 in rushing. He is blowing it up right now in the rushing game. And I think Miami, I'm going to give the advantage, though, to Miami actually in this game. I think the momentum is going to be huge in this game. Turnover chain is going to be given out multiple times, the turnover chain is a great idea, by the way, whoever came up with that idea. But I'm going to go with Miami. I think I'm going to go with Miami in a close one. And I agree with you. When Miami does win, there needs to definitely be a flip-flop. Miami needs to go up to 3. I'm going to quite honestly say they've been disrespected long enough. And when they win this game, there is no more talk about when the U comes back. The U is back. They're already back. But when they win this game, you got to put them at 3. I'm going to go with Miami. I'm gonna use your score, but I'm a flip-flop it. So I'm going to say 24-21. A big game, ABC, Saturday night. What more do you want? And we are on the line with Larry B of IE Sports Radio. IE Sports Radio also on Spreaker.com. A lot of great shows. I appreciate all of the variety of the shows that he has on his network. Next, last game, TCU versus Oklahoma. Number 5 versus number 6. They've got the same record. They're fighting for the same thing. They're trying to get that number 4 spot. I'm excited about this game as well. I think I'm in Texas. I'm going for TCU in this game. Oklahoma has been playing very, very well. Like I said, they both have 1 loss. So this is going to decide the fate of the Big 12. This is going to decide who, if either of these teams, at the end of the season, will get in that number 4 spot. And I think out of these two, I think TCU is actually the better all-around team. Now, TCU's not getting that much love on ESPN either, but Oklahoma seem to fall apart, and they've won a lot of close games, but they've also been in situations where they have, the loss against Ohio State, which to me was a shocker. So what's your thoughts on this game? Break this game down for us.
All right, Mr. Ben. Well, number one, I like where you're going, because to me, this is it. You're right. This is your ticket. This is your ticket to the Big 12 to win it, and this is your ticket to the college football playoff. If you don't win this thing, you're more than likely going to kiss both those goodbye. I mean, this game has everything on the line. I mean, if this is basically a playoff game. If the Big 12 had a playoff, this would be a playoff game. And I'll tell you what, Ben, also real fast, I went ahead and I gave you all the credit in the world for it, but I had to ask kind of the same deal to my guests and one of my colleagues on iSports Radio on 3 and Out about a week ago or 2 weeks ago about the whole expanding the Big 10 of the Big 12. And they were like, couldn't agree more, Ben. So thank you for that awesome question, man. I loved it. So
yeah,
anyway.
they need to do it. It just doesn't make sense to have a conference called the Big 12 and you don't have 12 teams in it. So
right? I mean, exactly. The Big 9. Like, come on, man.
Right,
like,
exactly.
really? Like, so yeah, I'm with you, Ben. But this game to me says everything, because TCU is. This team cannot be over. I mean, seriously, they have a running back on this team that I feel is extremely, like, no one even, I honestly, and I'll be sure I wouldn't even know his name if I don't have it in front of me right now. And his name is Darius Anderson. He's a sophomore. You know what, man? He's a sophomore. Like, that says so much to me. These numbers don't jump out at you, but I don't care. Watching him work, he's actually a really good running back, mate. 121 yards, 121 carries this year, 726 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He's played well. Of course, we know we have the Heisman finalist, more than likely this year, Mr. Baker Mayfield over there, 195 for 272, 3,226 yards, 28 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Okay, what jumps out at me the most in this game is basically their 2 losses, well, combined. They're 1 loss apiece. And what I don't understand the most about this TCU team is the fact that they have the weirdest, like, they have weird games. They have very weird games. Like, for instance, that Texas game was a good one. I thought for sure they were going to fight them, but there were some points in that game where I was like, okay, guys, like, you're going to pull away now, right? No, okay. You're going to pull away now, right? No, okay, no. You're going to pull. Texas is going to fight you, okay? I think my Trojans know that. But the thing is TCU, I think, will beat both those teams. I mean, TCU, I don't even want to see them versus USC. So TCU is a team this year that just has everything. They always have everything. They're always so close, but not close enough. So Oklahoma this year, I mean, their 1 loss, it says everything to me. And that, of course, was to Iowa State. Iowa State is a starving team. And this, believe it or not, Ben, I'm taking them over Oklahoma State today. I know, craziness, but Iowa State, man, this team has that factor. But as for Oklahoma State and Oklahoma last week, I mean, if you were entertained by that game, I mean, I was cracking up about, I was making jokes about it on 3 and Out on Tuesday's show, saying that, hey, the college basketball season tips off on Friday, which of course was yesterday. I was like, and these two got it going a week early. College basketball on the gridiron. There you go, 62-52. I mean, but
right, exactly.
Exactly. But Ben, what jumps up to me the most in this game is, once again, these 2 losses. Now, what I see with TCU is they have these weird little losses. And where I don't get the most about their team is, and I'm trying to find it here, I believe when they played Kansas, just want to make sure I get it here, they played Kansas and they blew them out, gigantically blew them out, okay, in this game, 43-0, and that's where it should be. Kansas State, they look like where they were, but last week this game is some question marks, because when they're faced with a big bruising team like Oklahoma, Texas and Oklahoma are a carbon copy in a sense, they seem like there's a little something scary there. I mean, they both lost to Iowa State, and I'm going to use them kind of to get through this. Iowa State isn't necessarily a big bruiser, nor are they speedsters. They have that perfect balance. They got their nasty run and some nice passes, some nice through the air, and their defense is strong when they want to be. As for TCU, it wasn't that much of a difference. TCU gave everything, but couldn't quite get anything. That's kind of how it was. I mean, they get 1 TD in the 3rd quarter, but Iowa State went up early. as for Oklahoma versus Iowa State, this game was a very close game as well, but it was more high scoring. That defense isn't something they can contain them the way TCU did. Last week, Oklahoma did it again. Another high-scoring game. Texas Tech. It wasn't high-scoring. Well, for them it was, but they still have 27 points. And if you can see where I'm getting at here, TCU hasn't – their defense, look at this, man. West Virginia,
they don't play
31
defense.
Exactly. 31-24. Exactly. 31-24, West Virginia. Kansas State, 26-6. 43-0, Kansas. Iowa State, they lost 14-7. Texas, 24-7. Wow. If you could add all that up, I'll tell you what, that's not going to equal to Iowa State, 31 points. Texas, 24 points. Kansas State, 35 points. Texas Tech, who should have even been in this game, 27 points. And then Oklahoma State, which is a very good team, 52 points. Then this kind of gets this equation to me pretty much says Oklahoma they'll give you points. Say, hey, you want the points? You want the points? There you go, the points. That's kind of what it's like. Like Oklahoma, their defense just isn't there. Now TCU, yeah, these last 5 games, it says a lot that no, we play defense, and if you want to try and play offense, you can try, but it's not going to work. These Horned Frogs are ready, and you know what, man? Oklahoma, I don't care if they're at home today. I really don't. This team has proven that they will give up points. TCU will gladly take them. But as for the defense, no cigar. Ben, that was a lot for me to Right. That was a lot for me to say. And so in all that time, I know I just kind of went in a little bit of circle there, so my apologies. But I had to really get into that analysis because I think, Ben, you pretty much set it up right there for me, man, to kind of get into that. And honestly, I couldn't agree with you more, brother. I am taking TCU to win this thing. Now, here's the fun part. I'm taking TCU to win this thing. Final score, 42-17, Ben. 42-17.
Ring the alarm. I wish I had an alarm. I might have to get that dropped because I was not expecting you to say that. But, man, I think it has a possibility to go multiple ways. And I'm definitely looking at, like you said, I agree with you. I said it before, TCU to get this win. And Oklahoma's defense is not the same. And to me, that is the deciding factor in this game.
That's it.
And
that is it.
Once again, Larry B of IE Sports Radio. Go follow IE Sports Radio on Spreaker, on all avenues of social media. A lot of great shows. A great guy. Salute to you. I really am. Hope you have a great game today. Once again, Larry B plays football himself, plays semi-pro football, and they've got a game today, which is going to be a major game. Real quick, just talk about what's on the line for your team and talk about that for a couple of seconds.
Hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate you having me on today. And yeah, y'all, the Southern California Warriors today. We're traveling 2 hours up north. We're going to be taking on the High Desert Phoenix. Be a very, very, very good game. They actually beat us twice this year, Ben. They came to our house. They pretty much almost blew us out. And then we went up to them last month. We lost by 2 touchdowns right around there. And today, you know what, Ben? We finished, I believe it was a 7-3 record or something like that, 6-3 record. And today, this is it. We made it. It's down to 4 teams now. And we play them, we beat them, we go on to that championship game, and that's all there is to it. So I'll be on the road listening to this show in a little bit because why not listen to the show? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But the thing is it's going to be a great game, Ben. We're looking forward to get out there, and our key today is the same thing as TCU, defense. And the way we always said it, Ben, is simple. My coaches said it in high school. It's funny because my coaches said it in college too. Oh, that's funny. I think every coach says this. If they don't score, we don't lose, and that's all there is to it, Ben. I'm ready to go. Gotta go out there and get this thing going, man. And hopefully in 2 weeks, when we're back on air, I can be telling you about how we won that championship game, which is coming up next weekend.
Definitely, man. Can't wait. Thank you, as always, for coming on. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks again, Ben. Take care, man. God bless. Have a great show. And, hey, to all you listeners out there, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Take care. All right. That was Larry B. on the line, and we got our next guest up calling in.